Hello Year 7 students, welcome to the instructional video for lesson number 1. Over the course of this semester we are going to design and then we're going to make a Shibori cushion. Today's lesson we have 2 tasks. This is the first task. Now there's 3 different sections to this page. The top section, if we have a closer look, tells us the goal of this worksheet. Now the goal is to understand the decorative technique of Shibori and its origin. And if we look underneath, there's a question. The question is, the photos on this page show 2 main steps of the Shibori process. Which photos show the first step of the Shibori making process? So the pictures up the top show white cloth, and the white cloth is tied up, it's scrunched up and tied up with string and rubber bands and even pegs. So if you think it's that, you put a cross in the green box. Now the bottom photos show 3 different pictures. There's one with white cloth being tied up again. There's one in the centre with lots of ink and dye and a bit of a mess. And there's one on the right hand side that's a piece of cloth with blue on it. So is it all at the bottom, all of the photos at the bottom, or is it the first photo at the bottom? So you select whichever you think is the right box or even boxes and put a cross inside those green boxes. Make sure you click on the boxes to enter. Okay, if we go back to the main page, we can see that there's a part in the centre here with lots of boxes in it. Now you need to click on the link that we have here, and it's an embedded worksheet that's going to give you information that you can use to fill in all these little boxes. And as you read, you enter the missing words in those little boxes. You need to click on the individual green boxes. Very good. Now at the very bottom there's another section you need to fill in. If we have a closer look at that, it's the goal review. And I'm wanting to know, where have you seen a similar pattern in the past? You type the answer in the green box, but you must tap on that box, double click on that green box to enter the information in. Right, so there's the worksheet that you need to complete. If you're wanting, it's worth 5 marks. If you're wanting 5 out of 5, you need to have completed task 1 with all 33 correct entries. The writing is highly legible, all words are correctly spelt, and all 11 proper nouns are identified and written correctly using capital letters. Okay, whenever you see this button, it means that you pause this video, but of course you can pause anywhere along the video. But pause here and complete that first task. Very good. Okay, now we're up to task 2. What is a client brief? Now this page is also in 3 main sections. The first section up top here, let's have a closer look. The goal. I understand the purpose of a client brief and can identify constraints and considerations. That's your goal for this sheet. We have the first question here. What is a client? I want you to explain to me what you think a client is and give me an example. You click on the green box. Don't forget to do that. You must click on the green box to enter your answer in the green box. And underneath that is the design brief. We can also call the design brief a client brief. It's quite interchangeable. Now, the client has commissioned you to make a cushion. The client has provided images of the cushion that she likes, and this will become your inspiration page. Now, we're not going to actually look at this closely at the moment, but simply realise that when you make something for someone, they will have certain things they want, okay? And they will show you through an inspiration page. Okay, the client wants her cushion to include at least 4 Shibori dye resist patterns, be made of 100% cotton, and she wants it completed on a sewing machine Don't worry, you'll be using one like that. And the finished product must be of high quality. Yep, it's got to be done right. Your design must also include at least one of the following features from the list below. You can have 2 or more colours. You can have a pocket, at least one button, or it can have other surface decoration like sequins, applique, fabric pen designs, pom-poms. They're really cute, they go around the outside of the cushion, or a zip. Okay, so you must have at least one of these things from the list, at least one. But you can choose which one, or 2 or 3 if you really want it. Okay, so now we've got the questions. You need to answer more questions, and this is the next part of this sheet. First question, which is number 2 question on the sheet. What need will your cushion satisfy? Explain what or where your cushion will be used. For example, it could be used in the bedroom, or it could be used in the lounge room. It could be used in the man cave. Maybe you're giving it to mum, or maybe it's your best friend's birthday, or maybe it's your 4-legged bestie's birthday. So whatever you decide to do, and why, whatever you decide to make your cushion for, write the answer in here. Okay, what are the constraints of the design brief? Okay, these are the things that you must have. For example, if I were to make a wedding dress for someone and they wanted a long white dress, well, I can't make a short mini skirt and I can't make a black dress. It's got to be a long white dress. That's a constraint. Okay, so have a think of the client brief. What are the constraints of the client brief? They're the must-haves. And if you have a think about those images that we had a look at, these are the things that it must have. Okay, so I want to have 4. I want to see 4 constraints written down in each green box. And then, what are the considerations of my design brief? Now, the considerations are things you can choose. You can be creative. There are certain things that you must have in there, which are the constraints, because that's what the client wants. But then there's other things that you can be creative about and have a bit of a creative flair. Okay, have a think. What could you choose to put in your cushion? So I want you to write 4 considerations. Be creative. And again, click on the green squares and enter your answers in the green squares. Okay, now there's one last part of this worksheet, and it's down the bottom. If we have a close look at it, it's a goal review. Where have you seen a similar pattern in the past? Now type your answer in the green box once again, and you're finished. Now this is worth 5 marks, task 2. And to get those 5 marks, you need to have completed task 2 thoroughly, explaining your cushion's use and need. You've listed fully 4 constraints and 4 considerations of the design brief. And you also need to do question 1 and the goal review. Okay, you can pause this video or go back over it and watch different areas if you're unsure. There's a lot to unpack. So pause the video and answer the questions on the sheet.